Hey foodie friends, I wanted to give a try to some of these different cornbreads brands, and I have had this one in the past. I have not tried any of these before. So I'd like to compare all of these. Let's get cooking. So I got these at Walmart, as you saw, and I'm sure there's more brands out there, but I figured this is enough to try and do a little taste test. And I also bought this neat little pan that's got decent sized cups in it to try together. And I know they'll probably cook at different rates and different things, but I'm gonna cook them all together and compare them evenly. So most of these pretty much call for milk, egg, water, and butter. That's pretty much seems to be the theme of most of them. I get a kick out of this one. Who doesn't love Dolly Parton? I mean, really. So the way I'm going to keep track of these is put a little permanent marker by each one of these that kind of matches the brand. And hopefully it'll be okay that I'm putting permanent marker on it because I've never done that before in an oven. But if it messes up the pan, it was really cheap, I'll just get another one. So while I'm mixing all this up, maybe think about the favorite cornbread brands that you've done, or if you made it from scratch. Let me know how you did it. So I'm only going to do part of each package, otherwise we'll be eating this for weeks. But I want to make sure that it's the right measurement for the amount I'm going to use. I'm going to melt this in the microwave, which can be dangerous. I should just do it in a pan, but I'm just trying to save a little time and some dishes. Don't forget to cover it because it can explode. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I figure with the partial amounts I'm going to make, each one of them, so far it seems like each one of them calling for eggs. I have 6 boxes. I'm only going to use half an egg, so I'm just going to use about half the product. Little mixy. Zatarans. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's going to be something spicy or salty, but it says honey butter cornbread. Need to put these away. I'll be right back. So speaking of eggs, I got these jumbo eggs at Food Lion. I don't know if you have a Food Lion in your area. They're way bigger than the Walmart jumbo eggs, but it seems like each time I get a dozen, look at this thing. What do you notice here? Let's see if you can see it. There's this one massive one in here. Look at the size of this thing. It's like a duck egg. So yeah, I'd say they're jumbo, maybe even colossal, and for a good price. So the cool thing is I'm going to save the other half, and whichever one I like best, I might like them all, I'm going to make them in the future. So that way I don't waste any. A little bit of butter. Doing. Set that aside. I could use a whisk, but then it's just as easy in this case to use a fork. This pan is extremely non-stick, but let me see if it, yeah, it says lightly grease. So I'll lightly grease this real quick. Excuse my squeaky floor. It's tiled, so there's really not much you can do about it. If it was anything else, we could have it redone, but it's just going to be squeaky. It's a good thing that it's not an apartment, because if you live below me, that's what you'd hear. But it's just a basement. I'm going to have the husband taste test this later too. Now, I'm only going to fill these halfway because they're probably going to come up a little bit. All right, so this is the Zatarin, so I'm going to put a Z on this one. I guess I'll put it like right here. Oh, that's not sticking. Okay, so, wow, that's gonna be, how am I gonna do this? Yeah, it's not sticking. So I hate to do this. I'm gonna have to scratch my pan for this experiment. So, little corn cob thingy, maybe I can just make it real tiny. Put a little Z. You know, I do have an engraver. All right, I can see a little Z there. I want to make sure to wipe that off just in case there's any pan shavings. Shouldn't be. It's hard to see, but it's there. Oh, I can see it when I tip it in the light. Can you see it? It's right there. Can you see? I can't tell. Oh, there it is. There it is. So there'll be a little Z there. Now let's make our next one. Okay, so I think for the rest of them, I'm not even going to do half a box because I don't want to waste any of this, really. Let's make about a quarter box of the next one. Okay, this will be Krusties is next. And it calls for milk, melted butter, and egg. Ooh, this one's a lot more floury, almost like cake flour. I'll just do a little bit like that. So that's interesting. Years and years ago, I had a bread maker and I made the Krusties bread. It was so easy to do. It was really good. But over time, I'm trying to cut carbs when I can, except for this. But yeah, so I got rid of my bread maker. Just a touch of milk, because we just did a little bit of, just a little bit, not too much. And melted butter, just a little bit. And egg. The whole thing called for 2 eggs, so I'm just gonna put a little bit, about maybe, I don't know, that much. I want so badly to add my own stuff to it, you know, sugar or fake sugar or whatever it is you like. We're just gonna do it the way the box calls for. Let's spoon this little guy in there. I'm gonna be going through some paper towel today. I would make it in different bowls, then it's even more dishes, right? So mixing it, the Zatarain's is a little bit more wet looking than the Krusties. So we'll see how it does. Now I'm gonna put a little K closest to this one. And wipe that off just to make sure. All right. Got our little K on there. Let's see. There it is. Gotta see it just right there. It is. Next up is Fleischmann's. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? And it requires milk, butter, and egg. It's a big old box of it. You could make enough for an army with this. Probably won't need all this egg since I dropped down to a smaller amount. Some butter. Not too much. Just get the right consistency. Okay, we're going to put a little F for Fleischmann's. Right there. And next up is Dolly Parton by Duncan Hines. But I should have mentioned that. Duncan Hines, Dolly Parton. But I'm going to go ahead and make these up to kind of speed things up so we can get on to baking. Now I'm going to mix up Famous Dave's. So while I'm mixing up the last couple of boxes, I am not going to waste the eggs either because I love scrambled eggs. So I'm just going to eat that later. Last but not least, Jiffy. Okay, putting that last little batch in. This is for the Jiffy. Some are just, the consistency is different. So like I said, we'll see how it turns out. All right, so let's start baking. And most of them are to bake between about 375 to 400. And my toaster oven cooks quicker than normal. I've gotten pretty used to it. So I usually keep the temperature lower than it calls for. And it's still less minute than it calls for. I'm just gonna eyeball it. When it's done, we're gonna take it out and try it. All right, so there's the order that I showed them to you before. And let's let them cool down a little bit. They all look delicious. It smells amazing in here right now. So as you see, I marked each one with the little letters for each brand, like I mentioned. It's in the same direction that I filled it. And let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Zatarain's first. Don't they all look beautiful? I mean, really, they look really good. So let's give it just a little taste because I want to save some for the husband for later. It looks like they all cooked perfectly. So this will be a good way to taste test it. So here is the inside of the Zatarain's. Hopefully it's cooled down enough. It smells okay. It smells like cornbread or cornmeal. That's very good. I might have to do a scoring system here. Let me write this down. Okay, so for Zatarain's, delicious. And I haven't tried the other ones yet, but I'm gonna do like a 1 through 10. It's the best I can come up with. So Z equals, drum roll please. I'm gonna say a 9 at least. I don't wanna go 10. It's very good. Okay, the next one up is Famous Dave's. Has a little FD there. So let's give this one a try. And it's not sticking at all. It's like perfect. Just that little bit of oil. I'll try to show you. Here's what the inside looks like. Hopefully you can see that okay. It has a good cornbread consistency. Not as flavorful as Zatarain's. It's pretty good. It's okay. I'm gonna give it a 5, maybe 5.5, but I'll stick with 5 for now. It's not awful at all. I mean, it's good, definitely good. But for me, you know, if you've tried these brands, let me know what you thought about them or how you rate them, the score. I guess if you buy it, you must really like it. It's probably a 10. Okay, so Famous Dave's gets a 5. The next one is Jiffy. Yeah, I remember in the past, Jiffy was very, very crumbly, but if you added stuff to it, it kind of helped it hold together. There's the inside. There's the outside. And like I said, I've had this in the past. It's very cornbready, like the corn, it's like gritty, a little bit gritty. It has no sweetness to it that I can detect, but it's okay. I'm gonna say a 4. So Jiffy gets a 4. Okay, the next one in line is a K, so that's gonna be my Crusties. Let's see how it goes. It looks nice and puffy, it looks a little dry. Here's the inside. There's the outside. See how crumbly it is? I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like Jiffy, pretty crumbly. It smells all right. Wow. Not in a good way, wow. Ooh, I might need some water. It's extremely dry, and it was actually one of the wetter ones, that the consistency, very dry and extremely salty. That gets I'm gonna say a 1. Is that bad? I don't mean to do that to them. That's just my opinion. Crusties, So far, Zatarain's is in the lead, which I was suspicious it was gonna be like spicy or salty or something weird. The next one in line is Fleischmann's. Looks cute. Just sitting there waiting to be eaten. This looks a lot like Famous Dave's, same exact look to it. Let me just show you. These are the two in the middle. Looks just like Famous Dave's, just the look. But it's not. I mixed each one separately. Was very careful about it. Okay. So for Fleischmann's, here's the inside and the outside. And see, it's not crumbling apart. It's not like falling. It's actually sticking. So it's probably going to be a little bit better consistency, not just like gritty and powdery. It smells okay. It doesn't have much flavor. It's got kind of a nice consistency. It's not dry, it's not crunchy. It's okay. It's just okay. I'm gonna give this one a 6. Last but not least, we're gonna try Dolly Parton's Duncan Hines version. Cutting into it seems a little dry. Here's the inside. And there's the outside. Again, it doesn't have a lot of smell. See how it tastes. It's fairly gritty. I mean, it is cornbread, but it's kind of gritty, like kind of gets stuck in your teeth a little bit. It's got a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's not like crumbly or anything, not like Jiffy. Jiffy's the most crumbly. I would give it probably, it's between a 6 and a 7, maybe 6, closer to a 6 for me compared to these others. So my hubby's home and he's gonna give these a try. So Brian, this first one here is Zatarain's.
Well, looking at the presentation compared to the other ones, it looks like it's a little fluffy cake. Looks like it's got a little bit of moisture to it. It's pretty good.
What do you think about the flavor?
It's got a good flavor. It's kind of sweet, but it's good.
If you had just one biscuit and you didn't know about the others, go ahead and rate Zatarain's. How did you like that one?
It was good. I'll give it an 8.
Okay, so the next one, that one towards me, is going to be Famous Dave's.
So presentation on this one, it's a little smaller and didn't rise as much as the other one.
Well, to be fair, I didn't have exact same amounts in each cup.
Okay. It's not as sweet as this one, Zatarain's or whatever. It's okay, but I wouldn't probably want it.
All right, let's talk about Famous Dave's cornbread.
So Famous Dave's, I'll probably get a 5.
Okay, the next one is Jiffy.
All right, test it in a jiffy. This one sort of falls apart.
It does.
I think it's more traditional type cornbread. It's not bad. So far, this is my favorite, but this one, I'll give it a... it's not as good.
Remember, we're not comparing to the others. You're just comparing if it's the only biscuit you ever ate that's cornbread. 1 to 10.
I give it a 6.
Okay. Okay, the next one is Krusty's.
Krusty's. Okay, it sticks together a little bit more when you dug into it. Sticking to my fork, it's not real crumbly. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, actually. It's kind of blah. So I'll give that one 5.5.
The next one in line is Fleischmann's.
Fleischmann's. Okay, get to the middle of it. It's pretty good. It's more traditional type, but it didn't crumble. So it's not bad. I would have that one again. So I'll give that one a 7.
Okay, and last but not least is Dolly Parton.
All right, Dolly, let's see what you got.
We all like Dolly Parton.
Who doesn't? This one's still the best of all of them, but that's not bad though. Dolly's not bad. I'd probably give Dolly a 7 also.
All right, well thanks for trying it. You didn't even have to drink water.
I didn't.
So shockingly, Zatarain's is the winner. Let me know what you guys think. And if you like these kind of videos, it would be a huge honor to have you subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.